Yeah. How are you this afternoon?
Good, how are you?
I just choked on a cough. But other than that, I'm great.
I have water. Do you need some water?
Just like I swallowed it. I had to cough it. Okay. How well prepared do you feel to teach students with disabilities and other special learning needs?
Like on a scale or just in general?
Just in general.
I'm pretty prepared. I have a lot of different students to share with different disabilities and on different levels. So I do wish that I had more time. Obviously, I think everybody does. So, no, I think I'm pretty prepared. You could always be more prepared, but so.
Did you complete a traditional program or alternative certification?
I did the traditional. So, yeah, traditional.
What is your role and responsibility in teaching students with disabilities?
Well, it depends on their paperwork. Every student is different. So for some students, I offer in-class support for the gen ed teacher, and then for some students, I actually pull them out for what we call resource, and they're, I teach them, in a smaller group setting and lower skill level. A particular subject, math or reading, is usually what we do for resource.
In your opinion, what are the characteristics of effective inclusive instruction?
Well, I think the first thing is, especially in our case with our students, is to establish a good relationship with them. They have to feel like that they can trust you, and then once you've done that, you can get them to do anything. You have to be prepared. You have to, in our case, you have to read over all the paperwork. You have to know your students' goals, objectives, all of their disabilities, all of their accommodations. So being prepared, knowing the background of your students, forming that relationship, and, I think the relationship's key. You can do anything you want after that. They'll always try for you. So
that's all of them, though.
Yes, true.
Okay, describe the frequency and methods of collaboration between you and the general education teachers working with the students with disabilities.
Well, in a perfect world, I would love to have the same conference period, especially as in my group of fifth graders, but that having so many students this year in different grade levels, that's not, that just wasn't possible. But, they know that they can come to me for anything. We all have each other's cell phone numbers. They share lesson plans. They'll text or call it doesn't matter what time to ask about certain students. So we do collaborate when we can. It's not as much as I would like. So, but it works. It's efficient. I don't feel like, that they're not getting what they need or I'm not getting what I need. So.
Okay. And in what ways are you providing effective instruction for students with disabilities?
Well, I think it kind of goes back to before. I think knowing what they're doing in the gen ed classroom and also knowing what their goals and IEPs are and what you need to focus on their level. Not necessarily. They could be a fifth grader, but they're on a second grade reading level. So, you have to find the balance. You have to know what they need.
And know what they're capable of.
Yes, and what they're capable of just as much as what's required for that grade level, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Okay. What is your biggest challenge in working with students with disabilities?
Well, oh gosh, which one? There's several. I know. I guess trying to balance it all. Like when you have a big group, especially when you have a big group of like resource kids, for instance. If I have a big group in here, and they could be on different levels. I could be pulling them off of fifth grade reading, but this student could be on a second grade level. This student could be on a fourth grade. This student could be on third grade. So, getting to know them well enough to apply your, just apply the critiques or the skills that you're trying to do, balancing it all out, I guess. So, does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is the last one. I will be in my own classroom next fall. What recommendations do you have to help me prepare to teach students with disabilities and other special learning needs?
Have good communication with us. Know that you can. There's no such thing as a stupid question. Read the paperwork and make sure you understand the paperwork. It's a lot. I mean, we have to give you a lot of information on those kids, and it's overwhelming at first. But just making sure you know their disabilities and what accommodations that they need. That will help you, tremendously. So.
Thank you.
You're welcome.